Welcome to the What's Our Verdict podcast, where we fashion ourselves cinematic judge and jury. My name is JJ Crowder. I'm here with my co-host Javier Ortiz.
What is up, my nerds?
And Ian Anderson.
Some shit.
We appreciate your help growing the podcast. Go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification button, so you can always be on when we're releasing these spoiler-free reviews on YouTube. Go check out our website, whatsourverdict.com, where you can sign up for our newsletter to get exclusive content and updates about the upcoming episodes we have coming out, and then pick up some sweet merch. You can also interact with us, leave comments on our episodes. We always love to hear those things. The question we always ask is if you ever find yourself wondering if you spend the time, money, or both on a movie. To help with that question, each week we put a movie on trial, discuss the facts, pass judgment, and let you know our verdict. This is our spoiler-free review, where we'll rate each movie on a 3-tiered scale. Worth it, meaning you should watch this movie as soon as you can. Stream it, meaning wait until you can watch it for free. And finally, not impressed, meaning you shouldn't watch it at all. Our deep dive reviews are available every Monday wherever fine podcasts are found: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Ghana, just to name a few. Today we are reviewing Reminiscence. It was released August 20th, 2021. It was written and directed by Lisa Joy, stars Hugh Jackman, Rebecca Ferguson, Tendiwe Newton, and Cliff Curtis. Nick Bannister, a private investigator of the mind, navigates the alluring world of the past when his life is changed by a new client, May. A simple case becomes an obsession after she disappears, and he fights to learn the truth about her.
Is Lisa Joy from Westworld? Did she do?
Yes, she is one of the co-creators of Westworld. Her hubby is Jonathan Nolan, Christopher Nolan's brother. So they typically write and create together, but yeah, this is her. I believe this is her film directorial debut, but I could be wrong about that. I don't know enough, but I know she writes a lot of films and TV. So, yeah, she is got an interesting mind for sure. I know she wrote a lot of TV, but I think this is her first movie. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm gonna let somebody else go. Hey, Ian, why don't you go first on spoiler, buddy?
Go first. Look at you moving up in the world.
Yeah.
Yay! I'm so excited. I don't know what to say about this movie. I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about it. It was very interesting, but it was also a very long interesting, and I feel like the ending was very underwhelming. Like, yeah, I got to the end and I was like, oh, so that's all we're trying to find out. Like, there's no like big payoff. It's just, yeah, I was kind of underwhelmed by the ending. I won't go into depth until our deep dive, but I think it's like a stream it, because I don't know. Probably the wrong person to go first, because I still don't know what I think about this movie. It was an interesting idea. Acting was really good. The plot was, I feel like, could have been condensed and still had the same impact. But yeah, I'm just going to go stream it. It's not amazing. It's not bad. But it's an interesting film.
Sounds good. Stream it for Ian. Javier.
I'm kind of with Ian on this, but I think if you liked Westworld, you'd probably like this movie. It had a Westworld vibe to it, where it's like, this isn't like that good and it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'm sure there's people out there who are smarter than me and enjoy this type of movie. Like, it wasn't bad. The acting was good. You have half the Westworld cast in this movie and half the Greatest Showman cast in this movie. So there's obviously good acting here. There were parts of the movie that I really liked. And then there were parts of the movie where I'm like, something's got to happen here soon or I'm going to off myself. So you get a little bit of both in this movie. So that's nice. I'm going to go with stream it. Because, yeah, it's not bad, but it's not like, I don't know. I just came off watching Shang-Chi and I loved that movie. And so I'm watching this one and I'm like, it's just not that exciting. And the character progression isn't as cool. I don't know. It's a hard start comparison.
Yeah. No, I will agree. Unfortunately, this movie suffered a lot because of the fact that we had just watched Shang-Chi and just thoroughly enjoyed that movie and everything it offered. But I will say, yeah, this movie was a hard one for me, and I think I'll break it down in this, and then we'll go even more detail in the deep dive. But for me, this was like a tale of a long setup. Like, it took a while for this movie to get going. And for me, like, it was interesting, very interesting at first because you're introduced to this new world and this new technology that's pretty interesting across the board. And then all of a sudden, those things become a backdrop, and that's about it to this, murder mystery or not murder, but disappearance mystery. And then once it gets going, there's like a 15-20 minute section near the end of this movie that was wildly entertaining to me, and it saved the movie for me because I was telling Casey we were watching, I was like, this movie's rough. I was like, I'm having a hard time with this movie because it just took so long to get over itself in a way. There's so much exposition, so much narration. Like, I'm just like, whoa. But like I said, there's like 15-20 minutes near the end that I was like, oh wow, okay, I like this a lot. And then the ending is there's parts of the ending that I really liked, and then there's parts of the ending I was like, they could have just stopped at certain points and I'd have been okay. I will say that it doesn't have your typical ending, and I'll leave it at that, which I liked. I did like that there were consequences, and those consequences were followed through on. And it wasn't like everybody was happy-go-lucky at the end of this movie, so I like that. Which I can't wait to talk more about. But it did feel long, especially at an hour and 56 minutes. And then you compare the fact that Shang-Chi was 20 minutes longer than that, and Shang-Chi felt like a shorter movie. So, I mean, that tells you something. And again, I credit that a lot to it. It takes this movie an hour to get going.
Dude, it's an hour of Hugh Jackman like simping on someone.
Yeah. Well, that and like simping on someone, and really the majority of the story in the movie is him telling us about it in narration and exposition, right? So it's just, I want to talk about that too, because I think this movie suffers a lot because of that in certain ways. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the rest. Stream it. Certainly don't pay for this movie. I'm glad we didn't go see it in theaters and we just watched it on HBO Max. If you already have HBO Max, and you want to see Hugh Jackman, you like Hugh Jackman, you like Rebecca Ferguson, the acting's really good. So I will give that, and it is a different story. So I do like that there's some uniqueness and some originality to the story and the world that you're in. But I think it could have been cleaned up and tightened up as far as the script and the storyline goes. But I was interested in the world that was built, which you just don't get to see enough of, in my opinion. So with that, stream it.
Agreed.
Nothing to write home about, but could have been much worse as well. So one of our shorter spoiler frees we've had in a while, which is okay.
For such a long movie.
Yeah. For a movie that felt so damn long, it's quite a short spoiler free. With that, check us out on our socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all at What's Our Verdict. Send us an email, host@whatsourverdict.com. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We'd love to hear that as well. Leave a comment down below. We want to know what you think about this movie. If you've seen it, no spoilers, please, but we want to know, did you like it? Did you not like it? And then, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you know when our next episode comes out. We appreciate you tuning in for this one. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye-bye now.
Cinemagic out.
Whoa!